In Aurora Teagarden, Haunted by Murder, Candace Cameron Bure and Lexa Doig's daughters both star, playing teen Aurora Teagarden and her best friend Sally. So I thought we'd start with my daughter playing the reviewer of this movie. Here's my 2-year-old who dressed herself. So what are you thinking of this movie?
Oh, yeah.
I think Aurora Teagarden did it better. Who's got 2 thumbs and is super excited about reviewing this movie? B. And welcome to my channel. Hey, I am so excited about this movie, Aurora Teagarden, Haunted by Murder. So there's this haunted house, which for me is like #1. I love a good little spooky haunted house. I don't like most horror movies because they're way too scary, but I like a good haunted house in a Hallmark Movies Mystery movie, I'll tell you that. Aida is going to spend the night in this house to prove that it's not really haunted. Aurora and her new husband, Nick, who I just adore. I love Niall Mater. I'm so glad he joined the cast. They're going to be spending the night along with Aurora's cousin, Philip, and Sally begrudgingly joined as well. When Aurora and Sally were teenagers, they actually went into this house when it was totally dilapidated. It said, "Get out" on a mirror. She opens a door out of the wall and goes down the stairs, but finds a body. He was part of the Paranormal Research Society researching ghosts, so they figured, well, he just fell down the stairs. There was no foul play involved. In any case, we cut to the present day and we discover Tom Wilkie, who's angry. So we're already wondering, like, what's the deal? What's Tom Wilkie gonna be up to? But I have to say, in terms of suspects, I was thinking if anybody was going to be up to no good, it was going to be Reggie Harris. He had my red flags going almost the whole time. He wanted a wall up, that special door in the wall that goes downstairs to the basement. He didn't want anybody going down there. And it's like, wait a minute, that's super suspicious. And he just popped up out of thin air as this contractor that's wanting to work on the house for just anything. I mean, he seemed really suspicious, really desperate. And later on, you see, he's almost threatening Aida. For me, this was suspect #1. We also find Mona. She apparently has dementia and she is wandering inside, outside. Mona says the ghost of Ezra Enshaw actually lets her in. The woman playing Mona, she's also one of the hairstylists in Cut Color Murder, so we just saw her. And then the guy who plays Sergeant Hurd, who has been on the show off and on forever, he's also one of the hairstylists for Cut Color Murder. And I was like, wow, this is like a cast reunion of Cut Color Murder. I expected to see Julie Gonzalo walk around the corner at any moment for like a crossover. A crossover. How cool would that be? Hallmark Movies and Mysteries make that happen. Crossover. Go. Okay, anyway, sorry. This house, it gave me the willies. There were parts where I kept rewinding it and going back. I was like, did I see that? I got chills. Did you hear that? Did you see that? There's all kinds of things going on. We've got lights flickering. We've got banging inside the walls. We've got a door that opens on its own in the middle of the night after there's music playing that only certain people can hear. There's also, you can see your breath because it gets really cold down in that basement. There's like fog outside and weird mysterious lights. And the picture of Ezra Enshaw keeps turning itself around. And man, was that portrait creepy. I gotta say. The 2 spookiest moments for me though were at one of the early parts of the movie, she's walking around down in that basement and I'm telling you, that wheelchair moved. It moved. I even heard the creaky wheels moving. I had to watch it like 3 times. I was like, did that move? It did. It moved. Not only that, the best part at the very end, Ezra Enshaw, that portrait, look really, really closely at the very end, it blinks. I am not kidding you. I have to say, one of my very favorite parts about this movie was Lillian as part of the Paranormal Research Society. That woman putting on those goggles and walking around looking for ghosts was one of my all-time favorite Lillian moments ever. I love that lovable little curmudgeon. She is hilarious. In any case, the Paranormal Research Society does a bunch of snooping around to try to figure out what's going on. Is this the ghost or is it some person that's trying to scare them out of the house? So in any case, we're trying to figure out what is going on. Where's the foul play? Let me explain what I mean by foul play. The mirror, somebody puts in blood again, get out. So we're like, who is doing this? What is going on? People are being brought in for questioning too because they believe that Frank Brunelli was murdered. And it's even more believed after they find Jeffrey Ware's body underneath a shed behind the house. How are these related? What's going on? They bring in Reggie Harris, my number one suspect. They wonder, is it Mona? Her daughter's trying to keep track of her, but she's just kind of all over the place and lurking and being spooky, and we're like, what is going on? And then of course there's Anthony Brunelli, the brother of Frank Brunelli, who actually takes all the paperwork from the Paranormal Research Society. It was Frank's life's work. Anthony takes it all and burns it. So it's like, well, what is he trying to hide? Okay, so if you have not seen this movie yet, definitely stop watching right now. I don't want to spoil anything for you. Aurora's brilliant, as we know. She figures out from a news article. We see this piece of paper. It's about 10 minutes into the movie. They show the article where Frank Brunelli goes missing. There's also a bank robbery that day, and she connects some dots. They also discover that the doodle, that Ezra Enshaw is probably from the grave with his portrait, trying to tell them with the windmill at the bottom of his portrait that the money that was stolen that day in the bank heist was underneath that windmill. She's figuring it out. She knows that somehow there's a connection between the bank heist and Frank Brunelli's murder, and now Jeffrey Ware's murder. Well, it turns out Mona, she confessed that her husband had robbed the bank with Jeffrey Ware, and then guess what? He turned on him. Frank Brunelli, who just happened to be there, was also killed by Mona's husband, and then he passed away suddenly right after that. So Aurora goes to the windmill. She and Nick are ready to try to dig to get to that money that was stolen, but someone already dug a hole. Who is it? It's Mona's daughter. She figured out where it was based on the clues from that piece of paper. And she decides that since the life insurance money is running out, she needs that money, and she's gonna fight Aurora to the death to get it. Well, thank goodness Nick comes back. They save the day, they save her, and all is well. What a satisfying ending. Plenty of twists and turns. It was realistic. I didn't see it coming, but I was like, okay, that totally makes sense. So, awesome movie. Let's also real quick talk about the chemistry. I thought there was great chemistry between Nick and Aurora. They're so cozy now that they're happily married, and I was just so happy for them, and just seeing them love on one another. It was just so cute. You know, I like to nitpick a little bit here and there. I can't help myself. So for me, I'm gonna call this segment The Plot Sickens. It's a little part where I'm like, oh, really? The part that drove me crazy, just one little part here, was when Sally and Aurora are in bed the first night that they're going to be spending in the Enshaw house, and poor Sally is terrified, and Aurora teases her by saying she's seen a ghost. First of all, I totally fell for that too, Sally, so don't feel bad. But man, come on, Aurora, don't do that to your best friend when she's terrified to stay in that house. So now it's time for the rating. What would I rate this movie? I bet you already know. I have really enjoyed a lot of series on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, like Mystery 101, Crossword Mysteries. Those are a couple of my very favorites. But I have to say, like, my number one before used to be Crossword Mysteries Abracadaver, and I actually think that this movie now is my number one, not only of the Aurora Teagarden movies, but of any movie I've seen on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. I'm giving it 5 magnifying glasses out of 5. It was perfection. I think I'm gonna go watch it again right now. I am super, super excited. It's not a mystery movie, but it looks insane. The Presence of Love next month, March 13th. I am so ready. Let's see if we can get it on now. I am beyond ready for this movie. I've got a little more content here if you're interested. In any case, I hope you're doing well. And since this was a mystery movie, I'm going to say, stay safe out there. And then I get to do this.